UFC 287 is going to take place on 9th of April in Florida, and Pereira is defending his title against Israel Adesanya. They're fighting for the fourth time. But the main event or the main fight card will start with this bantamweight showdown, this bantamweight fight between the youngest UFC fighter, Raul Rosas Jr. versus Christian Rodriguez Ceerod. Now, Raul Rosas Jr. is an anomaly. He is a special talent, of course. He's 18 years old and he's fighting in the UFC, which is never been done before. He was born in 2004. Just to put it into perspective, I was born in 2000. He's 4 years younger than me. I'm a kid. I'm going to call him a kid because it's really weird to talk of it. Like he's a boy who's fighting grown men inside a cage. So I don't care what is your opinion about this or that. I You can critique his skills, you can critique his form, you can critique his technique and things like that. But as far as guts, hearts, and bravery is concerned, this kid, this boy, is as brave as anybody in this world. And he's been on a winning streak. He's undefeated in his professional career, and he's been fighting since 2021. So probably he was 16 when he started fighting, which is surreal. And he has the potential to become the youngest UFC champion, which is what he wants to do. Now, I hope that UFC takes a slow route while pushing him towards a title shot because he's just 18. Give him at least 4 to 5 years fighting. Maybe for next 2 years, just make him fight unranked opponent and then push him towards ranked opponent. And after maybe 3 or 4 years, make him fight the real contenders because he's just 18. And even after 4 years, you will be 22, which is 2 years younger than John Jones. When John Jones became champion, he was 24 years old, if I'm not wrong. So, considering that, Raul Rosas Jr. can become the youngest champion if he takes his decisions carefully. I hope his manager or whoever he is managing him, they take their decisions carefully. Now, looking at his record, I think he has had what? His last fight was a submission win against Blahovic. No, sorry, I said this is weird, right? His last fight was a submission wins against Jay Perrin, which was at the main, which is at UFC 282, and he's 18 years old and he's already a part of the main card, a pay-per-view main card in the UFC. I hope they give him the Sean O'Malley treatment where he's climbing the steps slowly, one step at a time, and they do not try to rush him like Darren Till. If they do it, then he's going to lose. He is he has had a lot of finishes. I think he has had only one decision win, which was the Dana White Contender Series, and hopefully he does well in this fight. Now let's look at his opponent Christian Rodriguez. Christian Rodriguez is 25 years old, not an old man or not an old fighter by any means, but the thing is Raul is so young that he makes everybody look old. And Ceerod has fought 9 times. He has won 8 of them, and he has lost once. His loss came against Jonathan Pierce, which was in UFC Fight Night 201, Walker versus Hill, February 19, 2022. And that was a unanimous decision loss against Jonathan Pierce, his only loss in his entire career. And after that, he won against Joshua Williams via submission and a counter choke. So, uh, both Christian Rodriguez and Raul Rosas Jr. are grapplers. So I think this should be a good fight. And I don't know if this might be too soon for Raul Rosas Jr. But then again, their fighting experience is pretty similar. Raul has fought 7 times and Christian has fought 9 times. Christian has fought twice in the UFC prior to this, and Raul has fought once in the UFC, but he fought in the contender series. So that kind of evens it out experience wise if you talk about in octagon fighting or in ring experience. But age wise, Christian is older than him, so definitely we will be more mature. But we don't know what's going to happen in this fight. Christian Rodriguez has an anaconda choke, which is pretty rare. You do not see that very often. The other anaconda choke, I think, was done by uh, Korean Zombie, and I do not know if someone else did that for him. I know Korean Zombie did it, but he has had equal number of finishes, if I'm not wrong. He has had what? I think he has had like 6 or 7 finishes. He has had 7 finishes or 6 finishes in his entire career. He has won 2 times by. He has lost once by decision. So I think they have similar number of finishes in their entire career. Most of these finishes are submissions. And Ceerod seems to be a good fighter. If Raul Rosas Jr. wins against Ceerod, then he might get pushed too early, which is what I'm worried about. Hopefully, whatever happens, Raul Rosas Jr. will always be the youngest UFC fighter for a long, long time. And hopefully, he does well in this fight. I cannot wait for UFC 287, a really stacked card, a really stacked main card, and even uh, the prelims is pretty jacked as well, pretty stacked as well. Calvin Gastelum is fighting, and few of the other good fighters are fighting as well. But the main card looks really, really good. And I've talked about the other fights in the main card. I haven't talked about the Kevin Holland fight. I'll talk about it right when the fight is done. And for this fight, I don't know who's going to win this one. I do not have any idea about who's going to win this one. They both look pretty equal. Their records look pretty similar. The only difference is Raul is really, really young and he's undefeated. But apart from them, they look pretty similar. Their records are pretty similar. They're both grapplers and they have probably same number of finishes. I think Ceerod might have won. Probably Ceerod has 8 finishes and 7 finishes, and Raul has probably 6 finishes. Otherwise, their record is pretty similar. Overall, pretty similar. So I don't know who's going to win this fight. I just hope to see a good fight between these two. And the bantamweight division is really on fire. So good luck to both of them. And if you guys like this video, then drop a thumbs and do write it in the comments who you think is going to win between Raul Jose Jr. and Christian Rodriguez. And please subscribe to my channel. I have really few subscribers. I can use a few subscribers right now. Share this video and peace out from my side.